In most fried rice recipes, they'll call for something called day-old rice. It basically does what it says on the tin. Day before, you make a big batch of white rice like you always would and leave any leftovers uncovered in the fridge overnight. Then the next day, you use those leftovers to make fried rice. See, this is popular because waiting a day after cooking will dry out the surface of the grain and ensures that things don't gum up on you when frying. It's the go-to method for home cooks in China to fry rice for a reason, and it makes for the perfect leftover lunch. But there is a slight problem to the method. When frying, you need to pretty much constantly press down on your rice to break up the clumps, and balance that by pulling it up from the bottom to avoid sticking. It's a little unintuitive and does take a bit of time, up to 5 minutes sometimes, to get your rice grains nice and loose and separate, which is probably why the English language internet seem to so consistently struggle with the dish. But there is a better way. Introducing steamed rice. See, in many places in China, steaming was the go-to method for cooking rice before the advent of the rice cooker, and this stuff makes for an absolutely perfect fried rice. And not only that, there's no need to wait a day here. You can go from dry grains to fluffy, delicious fried rice in less than an hour flat. So we're going to be working from 150 grams of jasmine rice, and as always before cooking, wash your rice. The point here is not really to clean the rice or anything. What you're doing is removing some of the surface starch so that things won't clump up into a big pile of goo when cooking. So just rinse that about 3 to 4 times, or until that rinsing water's lost about half of its opacity. Now get a full pot of water up to a boil and toss your now rinsed rice right in. Let that boil for about 3 minutes. This parboil will moisten up the rice, while the later steaming process will cook it through and dry it out. So if you ever find your rice is a bit too dry, just boil for longer and steam for shorter, and too wet, vice versa. Now just take that out, drain in your trusty colander, and immediately move this over to your steaming setup. So yeah, you will need some sort of steaming setup for this. We personally use a bamboo steamer over a wok, but you could also just toss this over a pot, and a metal steamer setup would also work just fine. Now just grab a cloth and thoroughly wet it. This is a cloth specifically sold for steaming stuff, but anything thin like a flour sack towel would also work just as well. And they also sell silicone mats for this if that's more up your alley. Either way, just lay your steaming cloth of choice onto the steamer, toss in your parboiled rice, poke a few holes in it so that it can steam a bit more even, and let that go over some boiling water for 10 minutes. 10 minutes later now, shut off the heat and let that sit there over the hot water for 5 minutes more. And then, after that 5, remove your rice, fluff it up, and let this cool down a bit. In about 15 to 20 minutes, this stuff will be ready to fry up using your fried rice recipe of choice. But I guess we've come this far, so I suppose we might as well just show you how to use this to whip up a simple egg fried rice with scallion. To do so, as always, first, lang yao. Get your wok piping hot, about steak searing temperature, shut off the heat, add in about a tablespoon of oil. Here we're using lard because lard fried rice is awesome, and give it a swirl to get a nice nonstick surface. Flame on medium now. Heat the oil up until it can bubble around a chopstick, then toss in 1 thoroughly beaten egg. It'll quickly puff up a bit, so then just give it a quick scramble and scooch it up the side of your wok. Now up the flame to high and go in with your steamed rice. Fry that all together for about a minute, and just like that, we've already got loose, fluffy grains. So then just season that with a 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon sugar, 1/8 teaspoon white pepper powder, and a small sprinkle MSG. Another quick mix, then go in with some sliced scallion. Brief mix, heat off, and out. Egg fried rice, done.
So, day-old rice is also a really proper way of making fried rice. Here you can see the comparison of the textures of the two rice. The day-old rice one kind of reminds me of a quick lunch spot kind of fried rice, while the steam one reminds me of a fancier restaurant kind of fried rice. But nonetheless, they are both good. So, big thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon, and subscribe for more Chinese cooking videos.